Hello my friends and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Well, the day started out, it was supposed to be just a kind of relaxing day, not do a whole heck of a lot, and then my son come flying out of the bathroom saying we had an issue. And well, he wasn't feeling very good the other day. Anyway, I don't know if it was related to that or not, but we had some plumbing issues in our house, and if my sister's watching this, yeah, she's gonna make fun of me about it because we always have plumbing issues. Plumbing issues happen. It's just a thing. So looks like we need a wax ring on the toilet. So here we are at the Home Depot. So I don't know if I've ever done a toilet wax ring with my son here. Have we done it before? Have you done one before? You have? All right. Well, anyway, I guess we're gonna do another one. So we're gonna head in here into our favorite hardware store. It's the closest one, that's why it's our favorite. And we'll take a look at what they got to offer for the wax rings. I'll show you what they have there, and then we'll show you how to change one out. It's pretty easy, and if you're a homeowner, I highly recommend that you take the time to figure it out, because probably a plumber coming to your house, I would guess is $100 minimum. So for just a couple bucks, basic hand tools, buying one of these wax rings, you can do it yourself. So let's go in there and take a look at what they got. Holy smokes, look at that. We got matching Volkswagen shirts. So on my buddy's cooking channel, Robert Roy, he likes to do what's called a flyover. So we're gonna do a flyover for y'all here. I could go a lot farther. There's only like half the toilet, so let's get to the wax rings. All these items are nice. Flappers, real easy to fix. Toilets are real easy to fix. So if you're calling in a plumber to do basic toilet repair, watch a couple YouTube videos because it's very easy and reasonable to do. But here we are in the wax rings. Now this is your standard, it even says it right on there, standard wax ring, and they're very cheap, $1.78. Now this will most likely fix our problem, but they have a 3-year guarantee. The problem with these is that if your floor is uneven, you might have to stack 2 of these together, and then that just causes leakage issues, or possibilities of leakage issues. So this is where you go into you have the extra thick ones that you could use instead of stacking up 2 of those. They're not expensive, $3.50 each. And then these rubberish ones, these ones are pretty good because that will definitely make up space better than the wax ones do. And there's a whole bunch of different ones available here. Reinforced ones. But what you want to do is make sure that your kit comes with these new bolts, because the chances of your bolts working again are pretty slim. So always make sure you either buy new bolts, like this one I don't think comes with bolts. So for $1.78 you have to then go up here and buy a set of bolts for $3.58. Well, those are seat bolts, but anyway, you're probably better off buying one of these all-in-one kits. So this is the wax ring that we decided to go with here. I've used these before. They're really nice. We also picked up some sealant here to go around the base of the toilet when we get this installed. So the first thing you want to do is get way down in here and shut off and drop your caulk again. Caulking. This is hard to get in here. There you go. Get down there and shut off your water supply. So there you go. We're shut off. And the next thing you want to do is flush the toilet to try to get as much of the water out of the bowl as you can. Now this is a low flow toilet, so it doesn't have your standard tank, so it won't have much water anyway, so just pretty much what's in the bowl. But if you have a standard toilet, you want to flush it a couple times, try and empty out this tank, and then you can use a sponge to get the remainder out. We'll flush it, and you can see down here, see the water coming out around the base of it. All right, no matter what you do, you're gonna end up having some water that you can't get out. We used a sponge and an old bucket here to work this out and you know, protect your hands and such. Easy to take the seat off here, so I took the seat off. Next thing we need to do is to get these covers off here, and then these bolts, there's one on each side. So we're gonna take those off, and then also I shut the water off. Let me get you up under here. Let's take this off. So usually, I got my head almost in the bowl here. Yeah, it's just like being drunk. Now usually if you have a regular flapper style toilet instead of this pressure tank one, when you take this off, water's gonna come out. I don't remember on this one if it does or not, but you can put a bucket underneath there. This one might have some come out, I don't know. Nothing really. Our valve is working, that's good. A little bit gross on there, no big deal. All right, so we'll take this other cover off, and then we'll take these mount bolts off, and they look actually in really good shape, which is surprising. They're almost always really rusty, so that's actually kind of a nice thing that they don't look too terrible. So these happen to be 7/16. I'm just using a ratchet. You can use a wrench, you could use a crescent wrench if that's all you have. Like I said, if your toilet's been on for a long time, these bolts corrode and they probably will break. And they'll always be dirty like that. It's kind of gross looking, but it is what it is. We got the bolts out on both sides. Most of the water is out, so now we're ready to lift the toilet off. You could do this two different ways. You could take the tank off and then just lift the bowl portion, but we're just going to take it all off in one right now. I don't think it's going to be an issue because we have plenty of room here. So what you want to do is kind of rock it side to side and then lift it straight up. You're going to probably get a little bit of water and then set it down over here. Okay. Okay, so once you take that toilet off, that wax ring is on there and a lot of gross stuff down there, so you just don't want to think about it too much. Make sure you're wearing your gloves and clean that stuff all up. Take the wax ring off, clean it all up. If you saw when we took this off, there was some weird looking stuff down there. That's actually roots. We had an issue with this a while back where we used to have a tree next to the house and roots had clogged up this drain. Now, it's been probably 4 or 5 years since that happened, but it looks like there's still a little bit of root action here. So they sell stuff you can put in your toilet bowl and flush it down. It's supposed to help get rid of roots. So we're gonna have to continue to do that. Otherwise, it's gonna be a very costly repair. I didn't see any evidence of it getting into the pipe, but it's going around the outside. It's really kind of freaky and gross. But home ownership, that's part of it. There's some things that just kind of are not amazing. You still want to own a home sometime? Yeah. So I'm glad that you're in here helping out. It's not really fun, but it's not awful. It's not fun working down here where you know what goes down there. Everyone knows what goes down there. So that is one of the reasons I think a lot of people will call a plumber. Even if you are handy, you just don't want to deal with that. But I grew up in the country, and my first several jobs were cleaning up after animals, working on hog farms and cattle farms and that sort of stuff. So call me a little bit jaded. It's hey, lots of people where I grew up make a living in shit. That's how it is. And when you think about it, plumbers do too. And plumbers make pretty darn good money, honestly. It's maybe not a glorious job, but it's a trade and you can make money at it. So there it is. But for us, we're just trying to save a little money on our home repairs. We cleaned this all up, cleaned the flange on here. Now, the reason why wax rings fail is because many homes are just like my very own house here. That flange is set below the level of the floor on top, usually because the flange is set on the subfloor and then you tile or whatever you put over the top of it. So when the wax ring goes on, it's set already down 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 of an inch. So that is why the majority of these fail. So if you have a failing wax ring, make sure you buy either an extended one or the rubber one. like I showed you here that we have. So this one works, and let me read the English instructions because I don't know Spanish all that good. Let me see if it says it on here, right there. Fits flange heights a 1/2 inch above to 1.5 inches below the floor. So this thing is expandable, which makes it much easier. And also, with the wax ring, you have one shot. You have to set the toilet on perfectly and then push it down. With this thing here, you can reposition the toilet. So even though these cost a lot more, as in I paid $8 versus $1.50, it's a pretty small price to feel a little bit more confident in it. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do one thing I don't usually do. I'm gonna read the instructions, and then we're gonna position this thing down and we will continue on. Okay, so for this, it shows if the flange is below the level that you're supposed to add this additional riser here, but I don't know if we're really gonna need it. We're just below level here, so my son is gonna install this here. So you peel off this paper off the back. Now, even though this is rubber, it does have wax as well. We've already got the bolts, new bolts installed down here. So you just set the flange over that. It's as simple as that, and now we just set the toilet on top of there. So I'm gonna get stuff out of the way, and I will set the toilet on there. Oops. Let's see this side. There you go. All right. The way that went on there, I think we might want to try to put the blue one on. So we'll take it off and try the blue one and see how that feels. Okay, so we repositioned it now with the blue one, and there's actually a little bit of clearance under the side of the bowl, but I think once I tighten this down, it's gonna crush that down. So we're gonna install the bolts, tighten it down, and see how that feels, and hopefully we're good to go. We got the bolts down here, tighten them down, same size as the ones we took off. Make sure we put the little cap back on there. I messed up on that on the first go around, so those are just for looks anyway, but that's important. And then we need to hook up the water on the back. I'll hook that up and turn it on, and we'll see if it leaks. Okay, water is on, and our first test flush. I kind of forgot this thing pressurizes pretty good. As all this water was here before, right? Mm-hmm. I should have wiped this up a little bit more. We'll flush it a couple times here after we wipe it down really good to make sure we're not seeing residual water. All right, I'm atop the throne here, and I didn't see my son in the mirror. He thought he was on the camera. So we've done several test flushes here, and we're not getting that nice pool of water out of here. So the last step here to make this thing look good is to use some sort of a sealant around it. Now this is for kitchen, bath, and plumbing. I bought this nice little squeezable one, but you can buy the big tube of caulking, which is probably twice as much for about 10% more. But we bought some colored stuff here to kind of match, hopefully. So we'll get that installed. I'll show you what it looks like.
What do you think, Banjo? Did we do an okay job?
Celebratory finishing beer for a job well done. Thanks for my son Aaron from Aaron's Adventures in Tinkering. It's not really his channel. He just
My channel.
You can't steal my channel, Aaron. So anyway, that's how you do it. It's not that hard. it's a little bit gross. But like I said, $100 probably for a plumber to come out, and we spent about $15 all said and done for the upgraded wax ring, a small tube of silicone, and 1 beer. He can't have one, he's on penicillin right now, so hopefully we'll help you out. You learned something. If you like my videos, please
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime new adventure or tinkering episodes come out.
Wow, I need to just record that and have that at the beginning of every one of my videos, because I always forget to say that, but that's all right. I'm here for y'all. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure.
Adios.